So I'm Ketki Rastogi. I am a solution consultant from Adobe and I specialize in document clouds. And today I'm going to be sharing certain 10 tips and tricks of how to, manage your PDFs a little bit better or just improve the interaction that you're having with your PDFs on a daily basis. So it's no news that PDF is one of the most important formats out there. There are trillions of PDFs that are being shared in the market today. 250 billion PDFs were opened in Acrobat and Adobe products last year alone. So it's an important format which people are using day in and day out. Whenever you're communicating with a client, vendor, you generally send the documentation meant for them in the form of a PDF. But that being said, there are certain misinformation about PDF out there. Everybody thinks that all the PDFs that have been created, all PDFs are equal. All of these PDFs that are created are secured, that which is not the case, because a lot of time people can go ahead, edit the PDFs that you have sent across to them, and then go ahead and that can change hands subsequently. We need to ensure security and management of the PDFs that we are sharing across, right? Also, we feel that it's very easy to navigate through a PDF. So at times we have these 100-page documents that we have sent across to customer that contains the proposal, maybe the contract, and a lot of information about the product or the services that we are selling to them. And it's very easy for them to just go through that entire file. At times it is not. We need to ensure that we make these PDFs easy for them to navigate through, right? Also, we feel that creating right PDFs which are secured, which are compressed to an optimal size, and are navigable takes a lot of time and steps. So it's not an easy process. Maybe you need to click to a lot of places and manage your documents that day. I'm here to disprove that today, right? That it's very easy to automate processes or to set up tasks that you do day in and day out of securing, compressing, and navigating through the files, making it easier for your customers or vendors to interact with the PDFs that you share with them. Also, people think that it is very easy to manage PDFs outside their productivity tools. So what we have done is we've done a few studies and we have seen that people who are accessing PDFs from PDF providers, right? And they have to continuously interact with their productivity tool like Microsoft or Google Drive that they're working on, and then go into Acrobat and manage their documents out of that. There's a lot of time that is spent interacting in between documents between two different tools. Up to people lose up to 43 hours in a year. That is like 2 business days lost in a year when people have to manage documents out of variety of tools, right? What if we could make that journey easier? What if we could save that 2 days worth of time for all the employees that are there in your organization? So here are some tips and tricks that will help you do just that. So this is where our document cloud comes in, Acrobat specifically, wherein you can have secured, compressed, navigable PDFs from the productivity solutions of your choice. So if you are designing your documents in Google Drive, Microsoft Box, Dropbox, you can make use of Acrobat functionality within these solutions and create documents that are secured, compliant, compressed, and navigable, right? So here are some tips and tricks, but before I get into that, there's also another information that I want to share with you is, as you know, we have various versions of Acrobat licenses out there, right? One of our two most foremost Acrobat licenses are either Pro or Standard, and we give most of our all our functionality in Acrobat DC Pro. So things like doing OCR on a document, preparing a form, redaction, accessibility tools, comparing files, optimizing or compressing files. Full-fledged is there in Pro. A lot of you who are not advanced users of PDF can also manage your PDF with standard, which helps you create, edit, do a full-fledged edit on your documents, combine, organize. So for those kind of users who are not advanced users, we have Acrobat standard DC. So let's begin with the 10 tips and tricks about Acrobat and how we can make your lives a little bit easier, right? So tip number one is, first thing is, we can create content. We can create a PDF from any imaginable content, right? So if you have a single file that you need to convert to a PDF, so let's just see how that will function. So I've right now opened up my Acrobat solution and I've gone into tools and I'm going to click on create PDF. This gives me a variety of options to create the said PDF, right? So I can choose a docx, Excel sheet, or a text file to create this PDF. Even an image, if I was to drag and drop it here, we could create that as a PDF. Then if I want to combine multiple files, we can do that as well. We can also create something called a PDF portfolio, which a lot of people are not familiar with actually. So when you combine a file, right, when you're combining multiple files together, these files may be Excel sheet, presentations, PPTX file, or a docx file that you're combining together to form a PDF. So when you just combine them, all of these documents will be individually converted into a PDF and then combined together. But what if you wanted to keep the format and still send one thing to your customer, right? In that case, you'll need a PDF portfolio wherein you can combine the documents and retain the format that these documents originally had. You can also link your Acrobat solution to your scanners and convert PDFs directly from there. If you wanted to convert a web page into a PDF, all you had to do is to get that link from here. Another thing is, we also have the so if you have copied some content, be it text, be it image, on your clipboard, you can convert that into a PDF as well, or start afresh from a blank page. Also, we have a very tight integration with Google Chrome. So here I have a site in Google Chrome and I have got this Acrobat plugin right here, right? So let's open up the site again. And suppose today I want to convert this particular site into a PDF and maybe share it offline with a few of my members or someone who doesn't have ready access to the internet, right? You can just click on this extension and you will get an option to convert this web page to a PDF, right? You don't have to, navigate to a different solution to create this PDF. You can do it from right here. So this is something that is really useful if you are sharing a
One
document with
one
someone.
question,
Uh,
one
yeah,
question, Kathy,
yeah,
that if that user don't have a Adobe Pro DC license,
yeah.
so they also can make that HTML to PDF.
No, no. So you will need pro or standard licensing. Creating a PDF requires Acrobat licenses
Okay.
via Acrobat. Yeah. You can view PDFs in the reader, but you won't be able to create them. Does that answer your question?
Yes, Kathy.
Yeah.
You can go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that question. And yeah, let's keep this session interactive. So you can create PDFs from anything imaginable, right? So that's tip number one. Let's proceed on to tip number two. Now, tip number two is accessing your tools. right? So you have now created a PDF, but that's not enough. You need to manipulate these PDF, you need to maybe combine it, convert it, and send it across for signature. There's a lot of things that you want to do. So you can access your tools from anywhere. So first thing, maybe you want to access your tools from desktop. For that, again, we'll just open up our Acrobat, the desktop solution, go into home, go into tools, and here you can go ahead, create PDFs, combine files, organize them, edit them, export. You can use all of these tools that are provided to you by Adobe to manipulate the PDF the way you like it. But maybe you're on the go and you do not have this desktop solution right in front of you. All you have is a tab and a mobile phone, and you still want to edit those PDF or manage those PDFs. How will that work? So for that, we have Acrobat on web as well. So this is the Acrobat on web, wherein you get access to your document cloud, and all the documents that you have stored will be listed right here. Here in this section, you also get access to tools. Right. So if you go into all tools, you'll get the list of tools which will help you manipulate the document on the go. So if you wanted to just edit text and images, or add comments, combine files, organize them, reorder them, you could do that from the web interface as well, right? So we have all of these functionality that are made accessible on the web. But that's one part of it. Now, what if you wanted to do this from your tab or your mobile phone with an app? So we have an app on we have this app on mobile phone, which I'm just going to share with you. Can you see the mobile device projected on my screen?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. So I'm going to open Acrobat, right? So this is Acrobat opened on mobile phone. Today I've just downloaded this welcome document that I have received from somewhere, and I want to go through this file and maybe manipulate it also. So first thing is reading this file, making it more accessible for me to read it. Either I try and expand to read this, or I can also switch to the liquid mode. With a single click on the droplet on top, I've shifted to the liquid mode, and now I can just go ahead and read this file. But that's not enough for me. I want to actually go ahead and edit this file, or manipulate this file in a certain way. How do I do that? I click on the three dots on top, and I can now go ahead, edit the file, compress it, secure it with a password, organize pages like I want to, combine the file with another file to send it to another person, or save it as a copy, print. I can manipulate this document the way I want, right? So I have ready access to all the tools that I had seen on my desktop app on my mobile phone now. So that makes my job a lot easier, right? Be getting access to the tools to manipulate the document on the go as I will, and not being restricted to the desktop application, but have that functionality in web and mobile as well. Okay, so that's tip number two, right? Um, let's move on to tip number three. Tip number three is editing text and images in your document. So suppose you've been working on this proposal that you've been wanting to send out to a customer, and there are just some last minute edits that you want to make to it. Generally, the tendency would be to open up that file in PDF and then export it into Word or whatever, or a presentation, whatever was the original format of the document, make edits there, and then shift it back into Acrobat. But not anymore. You can manipulate your documents from right within Acrobat, right? So I'm going to go into Home, and I'm going to be looking at this proposal that I've been working on. So this looks good. I'm going to click on edit PDF. And today what I want to do is editing text is fine. We can edit. I'll show you editing of text on web and mobile as well. But what I want to do is to edit this image that is there. I really don't like this image to be in the colored format. I want this to be black and white. How can I do that? How can I convert this image into a black and white image? I can go to edit using drop down and select Adobe Photoshop, right? This will open up the image in Photoshop, help me manipulate the image in Photoshop, and as soon as I save the image, it will be back in this document. So I've got this image. Let's just give it a moment. I'll go into image, go into adjustments, and click on black and white. Click on OK, and the image is converted into a black and white image. I'm just going to click Save, Control S, and the image here becomes black and white. What if I want to do some simple manipulation as to flipping the image, right? Because I don't like the direction of it, or rotating the image in a certain way. I can do all of those image manipulation from right here. But what if I didn't have this luxury of accessing a desktop? What if I wanted to do this on or edit some content on web and mobile? That's also possible, right? So if I wanted to edit content on web and mobile, actually let's do this on mobile, right? Let's try to edit content on mobile, on the mobile device that I had the PDF already open. So here it is. Here we've got this welcome document, which looks good. And I want to just edit a few details in there. So I'm going to select edit PDF. And maybe I want to edit the text out here. Adding text here. And bam, that text actually gets saved. What if I wanted to manipulate this image, shrink it, increase its size, so on and so forth? That also I can do right here. So manipulating text and images from your mobile phone or your desktop or your web device or web becomes a lot easier. I can increase or decrease the size of this image, add additional text, so on and so forth, right? If you wanted to change the color of the text, those options are also here, wherein you can change the color, you can underline text, put it in italics, so on and so forth. Alignment also you can manage. So there's a lot of capability that we give via your web and mobile, as well as of course we give the same similar capability via the desktop functionality as well, right? So yep. So let's move on to tip number 3. Now that we have created a file, manipulated it. Yeah. N- Now that we have created a file, we have manipulated it, edited the text and images on it. Yeah, it's time to secure this file, right? We need to ensure that the file is secured up to our liking. How do we do that? So first thing is we need to be able to add a watermark because we do not want people reusing our file, in any way. We also want to add security to it. After we have secured this file, we also want to ensure that we remove all the metadata. Right? Why is that important? So all files, whenever you're creating them, carry metadata, that is details about the file, who created these file, what is their email ID, what is their contact information. So there's a lot of details about this file and the creator that are captured in metadata, which you do not really want to share outside your organization. So I'll talk about how you can even remove this metadata from the file. And then how will you able to redact information? So suppose you are in banking or in certain sectors which need you to share files but redact maybe a few details from that file. how can you uh, how can you make that happen, right? So let's take it one by one, adding a watermark to a file. So I have this file open, this looks good, I'm in the edit mode. To add a watermark, all I have to do is to click on watermark, click on add, and add the text that I want to add as a watermark, right? Now, this color of the text, I want it as red because I want it to be bold and out there. I want it at 45 degrees. And I also do not want it like, I want to reduce the opacity of it so that people can just see it, but it's not very apparent and doesn't overpower the text and the content that I'm sharing, right? I can have all of this set up through watermarking, and I'm just going to click on OK. And confidential watermark will appear on all the pages right here. So it's very easy for us to, have a watermark added to all the pages of the particular document or a combined file. So here you can see this file has a presentation initially. After the presentation, there are a few images, and then there is a contract. All of these documents, all of these pages in this PDF have that confidential watermark. Is there a question?
Yes, Kit.
Yeah.
That you are saying that we can add that confidential to all the PDF documents. If we want to put is that odd even number, means even number and odd number pages particularly, how we can do that?
Yeah. So you can have these choices here, page range option, right? So here in page, even and odd numbers you can select.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good question. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. Okay, so watermarking is one part of security. If just by saying that a document is confidential or writing confidential out there doesn't ensure that this file is secured. How can we secure this file? To secure this file, we will need to use the protect tool, right? So you have to click on protect, and you'll get all of these options on top. So you can protect using password. So right now, if you do not want the customer or the vendor to even view the file, you can have a password attached to viewing the file. What that would mean is before when they open up the file, they'll get a dialog box asking them to feed in the password to even view it. Else you can choose editing. That is, they'll be able to view the file without the password, but they'll not be able to edit the file, right? We also have advanced security options wherein you can encrypt the document with certificate. So we give you 256-bit key or a 128-bit AES key to go ahead and encrypt the document the way you want to. So you can either you can either secure the document with the help of a password, or you also have certificate based security that you can give to your document. So only the right persona with the right keys will be able to now access and open up the document. Now that is the second part of securing the PDF. The third part of securing the PDF is removing the metadata that is associated with it. Now, in fact, we have done this industry study, right? Not an industry study. So we have analyzed quite a few PDFs that were published on web via certain IDES, manufacturing and pharmaceutical companies. And a lot of these files, approximately 90% of the files that we analyzed, these are public facing files that were published by these companies. 90% of them revealed some sort of PII information that about the creators of those files, right? So this is a step that we often forget, to remove the metadata associated with the file, to remove the required metadata. And that is something we can take care of in this via this protect feature. Just click on remove hidden information, and it will showcase all the metadata that is there associated with this file. Now, certain metadata we require, right? We need the bookmarks to be there to ensure that people can navigate through the file with ease. We need certain links and actions. So suppose you have a link attached in the file, we need that to be working. So certain data we want to keep, but details about who created this document, right? So when I click on show preview, this tells me that this was created by someone called Patty. And even their information could be published here. And we need to remove this information before we send it across to other people. To remove this information, we just need to click tick the checkbox on the information that we want to remove. So hidden texts I want to remove, delete cropped content I want to remove, links I want to keep, overlapping objects I want to remove. So all I have to do is to click on remove and remove this content, and ensure that unnecessary content is not transferred with the PDF that I'm sharing with another person, so that they can get the required details, right? So we can secure the PDF. We can now remove the metadata associated with the PDF. The third part is to redact information. To redact information, again, you will need to use the redaction tool. Now, this is a tool that is present only with our Pro feature, with our Pro subscriptions, wherein you can just go ahead and click on redact. So again, it is under the protect and standardization section. And once you've clicked on redact, all you have to do is to highlight the text that you want to redact this page or find text. So if there are certain words that you want to redact, suppose I'm sharing this document with someone and I want to ensure that the name of the companies involved are hidden. So I can just find text and redact the text as well. Or you can simply highlight the text that you want to redact, and then share this document. This is a particularly useful feature in financial sector where, in fact, there was a use case that someone was telling us about, that, whenever a person came in and had a public information letter that they had to, kind of request and ask, so they submitted, basically they submitted this letter to that financial institution, and the financial institution needed to publish these letter anonymously on their website, just saying that, this information has been asked and we have responded to this information that has been asked. And they had to redact the information, and they used to do it with highlighting, using a black highlighter pen and just scrubbing out that information and then taking a picture and publishing that information online. There's no need for you to do that. You can use the redaction facility given to you by Acrobat and just simply redact the information that you do not want published. So, a lot of use cases wherein we need to ensure that only right information is transferred or is available to the public, you can use this redaction tool. So let's move on. We have created the file, we have edited the file, now we have also secured the file, right? But now, after securing the file, or even before securing the file, what if I wanted to send this document out for signatures? Now, do I need to go into a e-signing solution and do that, or can I do that from the comfort of Acrobat, right? Now, in Acrobat, I already have this file open. I don't want to apply this, so let me just go ahead. Let me share. I'll go ahead, open up this document. And now possibly I want to send this document out for signing, right? Request for e-signature. All I have to do is to click on request for e-signature, send it to the person that I need to. I can specify where I want them to sign. So basically from the comfort of Acrobat one solution, you can just send this document out for signing. I want them to sign here, given their details, and click on send. Now let's open up the email box of the person who would have received this file. So I've sent this to Shilpa, who is my customer. So now I'm wearing Shilpa's hat, and I've received this document that I need to now sign and give my consent to. So this proposal has been prepared. Looks, I want to review it before I sign it. So I've got this message, please review and sign the document. It looks good. I can use these tags to navigate to where I need to sign. And apply and click to sign. And that's how easy it is. That's how easy it is to send a document out for signature. But again, these documents are being created maybe in Microsoft, or you just want to send this document out for signing via Outlook, right? So we have plugins into Microsoft suite of products as well, which will allow you to send the document out for signing from right there. So I just want to quickly show this to you. So I've got this. Let's go into home. I want to go ahead, send a document out for signature. And you can send the document out for signature from right here. You'll just need to log into your account. So that's going to take a little bit of time, but I would be able to log in and send the document out for signing from right here. Right. So be it Outlook, be it your presentations, wherein you'll be able to fill and sign the document, fill and sign or send for signatures, send the document out for signature from right here as well. We have those plugins. Another thing that I actually forgot talking about in the last tip was, when you're securing your file, it's not necessary that for you to secure your files while staying in Acrobat. What if you wanted to do it from Microsoft suite of products, and you wanted to give this particular file that I am with this presentation security features? All you have to do is to click on the Acrobat plugin, go on create PDF here. Here, click on options. And here you'll get all the options that will ensure that you can also password protect the file, and keep have bookmarks created the way you want, secure the file the way you want from right here, is what I'm saying. So basically, you'll be able to manage your documents from within the productivity solution of your choice. So basically, it's very easy for you to send out a document, secure a document, send it out for signing. Let's move on to tip 6, which actually talks a lot about how we are very well integrated into Microsoft suite of products, and you can do all the things that I just said from Microsoft suite of products. So I'm just going to show you a quick demo as to how you will be able to how you'll be able to interact with your teams while staying in the comfort of Microsoft suite, manage documents from this Microsoft suite, and send it out for signature. Is there a question, Biswajit?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
in our organization we have a that chunk amount of that Adobe Pro DC users.
Okay.
And tell me one thing, that if one create PDF file can be
Yeah.
shared with others user, so that both of the user or a couple of users can do the work if that user having that Acrobat Pro DC license.
So any user is allowed to comment on a file, but if the user especially has an Acrobat Pro DC license, what I would recommend, are you a Microsoft user as well? Do you use Microsoft Teams?
Yes.
So what I would request you to do is, actually we have plugin into Teams as well. Okay, there's something. Yeah. So we have a really great plugin into Teams that allows us to share sign files from within Teams itself, right? So if I wanted to collaborate with you right now, I could have just shared a document right here, give you collaboration rights, and you will be able to comment and draw on it, highlight stuff, things like that, and give your comments basically on that document, and then just edit it as both of you have discussed, and send it across to the customer vendor. Does that answer your question?
No, I want to know that at the same time, both of the user can work on that single PDF.
Oh,
For
like
example,
live edit.
for example, that in this meeting, I have one of my colleague that
Yeah,
Anand
yeah,
Gaikwad also there.
okay,
So, for example, that I have to share, create one PDF file,
yeah.
and the same time I am doing the addition or deletion, whatever that it is required. And the same time, Ananda also do the same thing on that same file. It is permissible or not? My
No,
question
you
is that.
once you publish the PDF file, the person will be able to comment on it. They'll not be able to edit the file. And the live edit, like you see in maybe Google Docs, or if you're working in, on a document on Microsoft 365, that live edit is not there in
Okay.
PDF. Does that answer
Oh,
your question?
yes.
But this is a very good tool for you to send across documents for review and get it with ease, instead of kind of going sending a PDF document after you've worked on a file and you've created a PDF, sending it out for review again, so you can send the document in PDF format to your manager or someone else, and they can just give their comments and all of that right there within Teams. So that can be done. Let me show you a quick demo about this integration with Microsoft. So basically, I'm going to be wearing two hats today. With the first persona that I'm going to be wearing is Megan. Megan is a marketing manager, and she's right now onboarding a vendor to help her with some design content, right? So before she can get design content from this vendor called Tailspin, she needs to have a contract set up with them. So she needs to first create and collaborate on this contract within the team, and then send this contract out to Brian from Tailspin and get the signatures from them, right? So how will this entire process look like? So let's wear Megan's hat, and we'll go into Teams, and we have this channel, the legal and compliance channel, which has all the files that we need, which has all the legal documents that we need to send across to Tailspin, right? We want to open this in SharePoint first. So I'll go ahead, open up this PDF document in SharePoint. Maybe I need to review this because someone has sent this across to me, and I just want to give my reviews before I actually send it across to Tailspin. So I'm going to go ahead, go to using bookmarks, navigate to the right place where I want to, then give my comments. That let's have this in a single line because it's looking a little cluttered right now. Highlight text that this needs e-signatures and will not be carrying physical signatures. And also this communication in two lines is not right and should be in a single line, right? And I want to save and share uh, this comments with one of my colleagues so that they can make the necessary edit and give the file back to me so that I can now go ahead and compose the agreement that I want to compose with Tailspin. Also, if I want to search this document from here, if I want to look up for a text, I can do that here. So the thing is, we have not opened up Acrobat to manipulate or work on this document. We are working on this document from the comfort of SharePoint, which we opened up on Teams, from Teams, right? So I'm going to click on cancel, download the file, or I can download the file here, or I can also go ahead, edit the file here. So basically I'll be able to organize pages, combine files, export PDF. So a lot of tools are given right here within SharePoint via the Acrobat extension, right? So now I'm going to just quickly go ahead, share it with the colleague and ask them to make the necessary changes. Then I'm going to go in. So after I've asked them to make the necessary changes, I'm going to go ahead and combine files, which carries this contract process presentation as well with the new changes now. Combine them into a single document. So I'm going to use Combine Pages by Adobe. I can change I can change the placement of the files as well, and just click on Combine to combine the file. Rename it as Tailspin Agreement Package. I can go ahead, review the document as well. Everything looks good. I've got the changes made, the great process. This is in one line, communication is in one line. So all of this looks good. And now I have this document package ready to be sent out for signature. I'm going to shift its folder and then move into signing this document. So to sign this document, you do not need to come to Adobe Sign. You can again do it from the comfort of SharePoint. I'll go into contacts. I have all the contacts that are listed in SharePoint. I'll click on this contact that I want to share this document that I've just created. Go into the shared folder, and the Tailspin contract document is right here. Click on attach, send this document across, similar to the way we send that email out for signing. Again, from the comfort of SharePoint. Now I'm going to just go ahead, drag and drop the signature block to capture the signature and email ID and quickly send this document across to Brian. Now, if I want to track this document, do I need to go into my Acrobat to track it? The answer is no. As I said earlier, we have this plugin with Outlook, which allows you to get the status or send documents out for signatures from within Outlook. So I can just go into agreement status, check that this document has is been sent out for signature, right? Now, what will be the experience of Brian? Brian, there's no need for Brian to be on his desktop. He can be on his cell phone, review the document that has been sent to him by Megan, sign where he has to, given the phone number. So we have requested him to share his phone number as well. Once he's done sharing the phone number and his details, he'll just go ahead and sign the document, apply, and done. He's done with signing the document. Now, how do you know that Brian has signed the document? First, you'll receive an email, confirmation email, that yes, Brian has signed the document. But do you need to navigate to this email all the time? The answer is again no. You can again go into the agreement status bar and click on the agreement package that was sent across, and now this package will carry the tag signed, that this document has been signed and is now in effect, right? Also, as soon as Brian signed the document and gave the details of his phone number, that phone number details were captured right here. So that's how tight our integration is with the SharePoint, wherein if the person is feeding in information into a document that they are signing, we can pull back that information and push it into SharePoint as well. Again, we can look into agreement status here. So it's not just the integration with just Outlook, but also with SharePoint as well, right? And also you can also have certain custom flow designed uh, in Microsoft, wherein you can that as soon as a document is signed, you can push messages to your teams that yes, this document has been signed, please go ahead and conduct the work henceforth. So those kind of notifications and alerts can also be set up using Microsoft solutions, right? So we have a very tight integration with Microsoft. Why is this important? Is that this helps enhance the productivity of the users that are using PDFs within Microsoft environment. So it's not just Teams, it's not just Outlook, it's not just SharePoint that we integrate with, it's also uh, Word, OneDrive, Power Apps, Power Automate that we have an integration with, right? Tip number 7 is set up actions. Now, this is something that I feel is one of the most underutilized feature of Acrobat, wherein there are certain tasks that you do day in and day out, right? Like right now, we had to mark or watermark a document as confidential. We wanted to remove metadata associated with that document. What if we could do all of that in a click of a button? So with Adobe and Acrobat, we get to set up we get to set up actions. So you can go into Action Wizard, and here there are certain actions that are predefined in Acrobat, like make accessible, which allows you to make your documents accessible and navigable, give them all the good features, like having bookmarks set up, having a right content flow set up, things like that. Or what I did in the beginning of this session, watermark a document. So here I've set up a custom action wherein I have asked them to add a watermark, remove hidden information, remove the metadata that is associated with the document, sanitize this document, reduce the file. So you'll just select whatever functions that you want to carry out, and just drag and drop them here, right? So all you have to do is to just double click, and this will appear here. You can also manipulate these settings. So watermark, what kind of a watermark you want to add? So you can specify this in the setting that yes, you want the confidential watermark in red. Maybe you want this in green, right? You can make all of those configurations right here. Once you have set up these configurations the way you like, so these are multiple steps that I showed you, right? What if I could do this in a single click? I'm going to click on save, and I'm going to do is click on close. Here I can add multiple files to run the same action on. So if I wanted to save this file in a secured manner by multiple files in a secured manner, I could run this action on multiple files. So all you have to do is to add multiple files that you have here, right? And click on start. So automatically it'll add that confidential watermark. It'll then remove the hidden information, sanitize the document, and also reduce the file size, right? So now this is a new document. Let's go ahead, save this. So we can go ahead, save this file as we want to, but so basically your repeated everyday tasks, you can set them up as actions, and you can then manipulate the documents with a single click. And the fun part about action is that it is actually again accessible from Microsoft. So if you set up these actions in Acrobat and you want to run these actions from within, from within Microsoft solution, you can do that. You can just come here, go again into that Acrobat ribbon, click on this create PDF and run action, and run this particular action, the close action, on the file that I'm showcasing to you right now. So that's a way to make your everyday life a lot easier, setting up repeated tasks as actions and doing them in a click of a button. Tip number 8. Tip number 8 is to compress this document, right? So you may want to compress the document, a heavy document like this, you want to compress. So we have compression that is given in both Pro and Standard. But with Pro, we have full-fledged optimization or compression, which gives you a lot of leverage in how you want to compress the particular file, right? So you get all of these options wherein you can make choices and compress the file as per your liking. So in this case, I was able to reduce this file from 4.6 MB to 1.5 MB in Pro. But in Standard, we have limited options for optimizing the file. There's only a single option and it's not very effective. So here, when I tried to compress this file using Acrobat Standard DC, then we could compress the file by a small amount of from 4.6 MB to 4.2 MB. So we do have optimization, but it's not as great as it is in Pro. We also have optimization with our web and mobile functionality, wherein you can compress the file from within your web or mobile app. And in this case also you get three options wherein you want to compress the file with high compression, medium compression, or low compression. So if you use high compression, we were able to compress the file from 4.6 to 1.5 MB. So right, we have compression facilities basically in our solution that allows you to manipulate the document or compress the document the way you want. This is really useful function when you are sending off the document or sharing a file, because sometimes when you are maybe responding to a tender and you have created a lot of documentation to respond to that tender, but the site where you need to upload the tender has a limit that okay, we are not accepting anything more than 10 MBs with images and everything. There you'll really find this functionality usable, wherein you can compress the document and upload it to satisfy the need of the receiving organization. Tip number 9 is to OCR to scan and OCR the documents basically. So with Adobe, so we that we have a scan solution. So we have a free solution called Adobe Scan, and when it is used with the uh, actually with the
Ketki, we are not able to hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Um, fair enough. Yeah. So I'll just show you how quickly you can scan the document. So here I'll open up this. Yeah. And so I have this book in front of me and I want to scan this book, right? So I'm going to use Adobe Scan and I'm going to just scan the first few pages of this book and maybe scan another page. I'm going to go ahead, save this. And just click on Save PDF, right? As soon as I scan this file and save this as a PDF, so Scan is a free solution that Adobe has made available to you. But if when used in conjunction with Acrobat, what it does is this it OCRs the file wherein it'll make the text searchable. So now let's open up this file on my computer. So I'll go into home, I'll look at all the scans. And here I have the scan. Just let's just refresh it. So the documents that are scanned by us are actually instantaneously OCR'd as well. So you can go ahead, select the content of the file, and this as soon as you scan the file, the OCR is conducted on the document cloud. So Scan, when used in conjunction with the document cloud, allows you to OCR the file and make the text that searchable in that particular file, and it's instantaneous, right? Okay. So the last tip that I have is actually comparing documents. So a lot of times, you're working on contracts or there are document versions that you want to compare. So you can compare documents even within PDF. So let's see how you'll be able to do that. So I'm going to go ahead, go into tools and click on compare files. So in this, I want to compare two non-disclosure agreements, two versions of non-disclosure agreements that I had. So I'm going to open up this writer and this updated non-disclosure agreement, and I want to see what were the changes that have been made into this copy that we have now received from the customer or vendor after they've reviewed the document, right? I don't want to go line by line on each of the files and then compare it. So I can just click on compare, and this tells me that there have been 4 changes in this document. One was a replacement, there were 2 deletions, and there was 1 styling change. I can go on to the first page, and this is comparing the 2 pages. So they changed the name from global to ABC. That's okay. I can go ahead, view the next change. So it seems that they have deleted this text also from the time periods clause. Moving on, I can see that there is an image that has been deleted. So here I had initially got an image that was inserted into this file, which is now being deleted. So all the changes that have been made to the document when you're undergoing a negotiation, right? it doesn't really have to be a contract. It could also be a proposal that you have sent across, or multiple versions of a write up that you submitted, and you now want to see what were the changes that were done to that PDF. You can use this compare functionality and analyze the changes that have been made and take the necessary actions. So I know we have been a little over time, and those were the 10 top tips from my end. So basically, what I want to leave you with is this. What I want you to remember from this presentation is that you can secure the file, compress them, make them navigable in the solution of your choices by using Acrobat, right? I'm sorry, I'm 5 minutes over time, and this is how we are going to be concluding this